So begins another enormous week at the parcel lockers. But of course, nothing ruins a good week's run at the parcel lockers than having to pay a visit to the post office. Oh dear, let's go. Yep, that's right. One parcel to pick up from the post office today. Apparently the parcel locker was full yesterday, even though I had multiple other deliveries yesterday. For some reason they just couldn't put it in the same slot. I don't know. But anyway, one more parcel. We're gonna head home now and do our unboxing for the week. It's a big one. G'day guys, Disney Dave coming at you once again from Down Under, and isn't it another gorgeous Saturday morning? Let's kickstart your weekend with another unboxing and housekeeping video. This week we received an enormous amount of parcel deliveries, which I think might actually rival last week's amount of parcel deliveries, which I was touting as the biggest Saturday morning unboxing ever so far. Well, I think today might actually be the biggest Saturday morning unboxing ever so far yet again. Now last week of course we received 7 parcels. This week we received 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 parcels! 9 parcels this week! We have completely eclipsed last week's parcel deliveries by not 1 but 2 parcels. We have got an enormous amount of stuff. All of this, plus of course this big guy right here. We've got all of this. Oh! Knock the camera. Well, it's even zoomed in. Dramatic effect. Oh! Alright, without further ado, let's get into this week's unboxing. This is going to be a huge one. But let's try and get this done as quickly as possible. Alright, we've got this one here. This has come via Royal Mail. It's not Amazon. I don't know what this is, but it's pretty banged up. Look at that packaging there. I'm sure whatever's in there is fine. So let's open this one up. Ooh! I wasn't expecting this one for a little while. The Blu-ray, of course. What have I got? Getting Even with Dad. Oh man, I'm so excited to get my hands on this one. This one was released by Fabulous Films over in the UK. They have this great independent distributor that has been bringing out a whole bunch of these like classic 80s, 90s movies on Blu-ray that the studios just never wanted to release. You know, at this point in this format, studios don't release a lot of catalog titles anymore. So it's always up to the independent distributors to get the licenses to distribute this kind of stuff these days. So I'm really excited to get my hands on this. This is one that I loved as a kid. It's one of my favorite, one of my best mates' favorite 80s, 90s kids movies. 1994, so I was like 3 years old when this came out. It's a lot of fun. It's one of those movies that's just a fun jumble of nostalgia. I had my eye on this on Amazon UK for ages and ages, and then recently I noticed that it just sort of went out of stock, and I kept my eye on it for a couple of months and it never came back in stock. I have a feeling it might have gone out of print. I think it's out of production now. I actually found it on eBay on Rare Waves. I'll link them down the bottom because they're pretty good at being able to get your hands on some difficult to find stuff at a decent price. So I think this is out of print now. I picked it up for something like $13 Australian, which is a great price. It's about what I would have paid for it on Amazon UK if I hadn't been stalling, but I thought, while I can get it at a good price, if this is out of print, I just want to get my hands on it now. So I finally picked that one up, which is awesome. And next up, let's have a look at this one. This looks like it's probably another Blu-ray. It's about the right size. It doesn't even say where this has come from. But let's open it up. Woo! Yep, I'm right. It's another Blu-ray. Yes! Okay, this is going to be another one of those ones where... Oh, stuck in my finger. This is going to be another one of those ones where a lot of people are going to go, boring, move along. So I'm gonna do this one quickly. Monkey Planet! Yes! As you all know, I'm a huge fan of like the Attenborough documentaries and all that. This isn't an Attenborough one, but I do like to collect as many BBC Earth ones I can get my hands on. I love monkeys so much! Monkeys are my favourite animal next to elephants, and they are just, oh, look at that guy! I'm excited for this. I'm excited to get into that. Monkey Planet. So I got that one too, just to add to my BBC Earth collection, which I'm sure I'll show off one day. as long as people are interested in having all that kind of thing. I don't know. Let's check out one of these Amazon ones. This is the one that I had to go and pick up from the post office, actually. I don't know what happened, because that day I had like 3 deliveries at the parcel locker. I couldn't have hurt them to just sort of shove 2 in the one box. It must be this weird policy that they have where you're not allowed to put more than 1 parcel inside one of the parcel lockers at a time. I was just lucky I had a day off work and I was able to go and grab this in the afternoon. So let's open this one up and check out what this is. Just realised I haven't been using my scissors this week. I'll use them for the rest of the parcels here. Apologies if the image keeps sort of fluctuating in brightness. The sun keeps going behind clouds and it keeps changing my lighting. It's kind of annoying. I've got a big window here. I'm going to try and fix something for that sooner or later. Oh, another Blu-ray. Blu-rays all over the place. Oh, yes! I've been waiting for this for so long. Yes! Superman! Yes! You're probably thinking, you've already got that. Isn't that like one of your favourite movies? Yes, it is. But this is, for the very first time ever on any home media ever, Warner Brothers has finally released the extended 3-hour TV cut of Superman. It's not the same as the extended special edition that we've all come accustomed with that's bundled in the set right there as well. This is a completely different thing. When they first ran this movie in the 1980s on television, they wanted to make it like a huge event film, and they wanted to run it over 2 evenings instead of 1, just to sort of rack up the ratings and sort of make a big deal. Superman on television. What they realised was when they cut the movie in 2 halves was that it wasn't long enough to split over 2 nights. So they went back to the vaults and they found a whole bunch of footage. It must have been like between 45 and an hour's worth of footage, and shoved it all back into the movie. Now apparently it doesn't make for the most ideal viewing experience. It's not sort of like the refined version of the movie. It's really just a case of not a proper director's cut, but them just going back and just adding deleted scenes for the sake of adding deleted scenes. I've never seen it, obviously, but apparently it slows pacing down and all this stuff, but I don't care. This is a movie I've loved for my entire life, and I can't wait to see like an extra hour's worth of footage added to the movie and just sort of check that out. This was released through the Warner Archive. Warner seems to be the only ones that are actually going back through their back catalogue and releasing a lot of their old catalogue titles to Blu-ray. I can't wait to just check that out. Who says I'm a Marvel fanboy? I love this movie. Best superhero movie ever made. Come on. Let's take a look at one of these parcels here. Book Depository. This is one of 3 Book Depository arrivals this week. Super, super excited. Oh, preparation for this week. Thor Ragnarok, the Prelude book. You all know that I love my Marvel Prelude books. Basically, Marvel print a series of Prelude comics, and then they release them as a trade paperback just before the movie is released. And usually it's like, say for example, this one here has the comic adaptation of Thor the Dark World and also The Incredible Hulk, which have never been published in any of these trade paperbacks. It's basically like a catch-up for the new movie in comic form. And then they also bundle that up with like classic comics and catalogue titles. I guess like the comics that were used by the filmmakers as reference material for the film. So this also has issue number 361 of Thor, the original run of the series. That would be a Ragnarok story arc, as well as what I believe is, one of the issues from Planet Hulk. Of course, let's go with this one here. I think I know what this is. The only company that I know that ships their stuff with this is Import CDs. Love Import CDs. These are the best alternative to Amazon. And as you know, Amazon and Disney haven't been playing nice recently, so I've been getting all of my Disney titles from Import CDs. I've said this multiple times in the past. Import CDs have a website where you can go and just buy all kinds of media. But I've found that their eBay account, especially for Australians, is quite a lot cheaper to import from. If you want to import from Import CDs, hit up their eBay store, which I am plugging down the bottom, and just import away, because really competitive prices with Amazon. I always feel like if you only want to import like one thing, they're quite cheap and quite affordable to go that way. So, oh, they use this really sticky stuff. Yes! It's a 4K title. What is it? Pirates of the Caribbean Dead Men Tell No Tales in 4K! And it's coming to slipcover! Yes! Oh my lord. Okay, so if you saw last week's video, you would have seen that my 3D edition from the UK came slipless. One of my amazing supporters, Kermit's Ghost, Thank you so much, Alan. He's also sent me his slipcover. Thank you so much. That means the absolute world to me. So my 4K edition has one. Not going to show you too much of this. I'm gonna do a little video on that later in the week. But I've finally got this in 4K. So excited to check this out. Awesome. Gee, this is huge. This is a huge unboxing this week. We've got another Amazon parcel, which looks like it's probably another Blu-ray. I can't think of what this is. Oh, how can I forget? Another 4K title. This was really cheap. They had, I don't know, they just put a whole bunch of 4K titles on some kind of clearance, and I'm so excited I got this, and it looks like I got it in a slipcover too, so makes the deal even sweeter. This is one of my favorite movies of probably the last decade. I thought this was absolutely stunning movie. I'm so excited to own it on 4K. It is, of course, Ex Machina. If you haven't checked this movie out and you're a fan of a good sci-fi, or just a good movie in general, Ex Machina, this is fantastic. Oscar Isaac, Domhnall Gleeson, and of course Alicia Vikander, who I absolutely adore. These guys are some of my favorite actors right now. They are wonderful. Slipcover too, so I'm so excited about that. Wonderful. This is a very good week of unboxings indeed. And on to the final two Book Depository packages. Let's open this one first, because this looks like the smaller of the two. Book Depository had like this 10% off sale recently. Every 3 months or so, they send their members an email giving them a 10% off code just for being members basically, and you can go and just order anything you want. You can only use it once, of course. When they do these big sales, I have to make like one huge order, and then sometimes they ship them one item at a time. Sometimes they do big bundles. I believe this massive order that I placed, they split into like 3 or 4 parcels. If you want any of these books that you're seeing in this video, down the bottom I'm going to put Book Depository links for all of them, that you can go ahead and purchase them through Book Depository. I'm a bit of a graphic novel collector. I collect some graphic novels. I especially like collecting the Star Wars ones, as you know. I've also been buying certain titles from Marvel's Epic Collection. The idea behind Marvel's Epic Collection is to basically re-release the whole first runs of the classic Marvel comics. I've been collecting some of the lines: Captain America, Iron Man, Thor, and the Avengers, with a few other ones here and there. And I just really want to collect like an entire first wave of the classic comics, because I think they are just some of the greatest stories ever written. I think the reason behind their madness is that they're trying to print issues that have sort of been out of circulation for a little while before they go back and reprint stuff that might be a little bit more readily available. So they're printing the volumes all out of order. Makes it a little bit difficult for someone like me, who's only really just started reading the comics over the last few years. Makes it difficult for me to be able to read from beginning to end, like a whole line. Like, I'd prefer if they came out in order of the volume, so I could just sort of keep up with the story and read in order. It's not happening that way, but I don't care. Either way, I fell quite behind on these. I think I'm about 2 years behind on them. So this 10% off deal gave me a great excuse to go back and pick up a bunch of ones that I've sort of missed out on over the last couple of years. And I'm pretty much caught up now, almost. There's a few more that I need to get my hands on, but these collect about 20 issues as opposed to the normal trade paperback, which collects 5 to 6. So we have got Captain America Volume 2, The Coming of the Falcon. That's great. I mean, look at the art in these original comics. It's just stunning. I think it's gorgeous. And we'll open this one up. This is a huge one from Book Depository. Got 2 epic collections in here. Another Captain America one right here, which is volume 13. These are ones I obviously haven't read. These are like 1980s issues. Again, great classic Captain America comics, and great to add to my epic collection, which I got up there. I've got quite a sizable collection of them now. I just love them. I think they're fantastic. And we have got a Thor issue, which is In Mortal Flesh. This is volume 17 of the Thor issues. These are comics from 1989 and 1990. So as you can see, into the 1990s, the style of the comics was still very similar to what it was in the 1960s. I just love the style. I think it's fantastic. Haven't read any of that either, so again, very excited to sort of get into that. I love the Thor comics. But now we get to the piece de resistance of today's unboxing, and that is this big guy right here, which has come from Pop Culture. One of my favorite places to receive things from. It is, of course, another hot toy! Yes! This has been sitting on my desk for like 2 days, torturing me. I can't open it. You can't open it until the unboxing. Finally have. I'm so excited. This is a Star Wars hot toy. Now, I don't often order from Pop Culture. They're usually like $50 to $70 more than some of the independent retailers. But somehow this guy wound up cheaper through pop culture. They've been offering these discounts recently on pre-orders on Hot Toys. They obviously realize the independent sellers are just trying to undercut them. You know, the first 2 weeks that they're up for pre-order, they're at a pretty well discounted price. So I saved a pretty decent amount of money on this. I got a good chunk of pennies too. So I claimed my $50 vouchers on another pre-order for a Hot Toy, which will come sometime next year. It's not that often that I get a Star Wars Hot Toy, so always very, very exciting. Here he is! This little droid! R2-D2! I'm not going to open him up on this video here. If you want to check that guy up, I'm going to be doing an unboxing of him probably over the next couple of weeks. So, very, very exciting to finally get my R2-D2. I love this little guy, and I think he lights up and everything. So that's going to be a cool little addition for my Star Wars Hot Toy collection. Look at this. This sun just keeps blowing out my exposure. It's annoying me. Okay, so that is the unboxing done for this week. A whole bunch of stuff right there, which I'm very, very, very excited to get into, have a look at. Now let's get into the housekeeping. This week is going to be absolutely chock-a-block. It's going to be a full week. These last couple of weeks, I've only been doing like 3-4 videos a week. I've been focusing on sort of doing some other things, as you know, like private commission and just trying to work on a few other things for the channel. But this week is going to be a big, big, big week. On Monday, I am attending a preview screening for Thor Ragnarok here in Melbourne. Very, very, very excited to finally go and see Thor Ragnarok. We'll be seeing that on Monday, and on Monday night, I'll be putting up a review for that. It, of course, comes out on Wednesday in the UK, Thursday here in Australia, and I believe Friday in the US, or maybe it's a few days later in the US. I had tickets to the Sydney premiere last weekend. Chris Hemsworth is there, Mark Ruffalo was there, Taika Waititi was there, but they just couldn't get me into the media pit because it was full, and I just had to politely pass and say, look, I can't fly up to Sydney just to see a movie. Like, if I could get in the media pit to interviews and stuff, I would have been there in a heartbeat, but sadly, I couldn't go there just to see the movie a few days early, a few $100s on plane tickets. I know I can be pretty crazy sometimes, but that's just really crazy. But I'm going to get a review up on Monday before the film does hit cinemas for you guys out there. So there's going to be that. There will be, this week I've got a very special video planned, Thor Ragnarok themed video. I'm not going to spoil it just yet, but it's a very exciting video that if you're planning on going to see Thor Ragnarok at the cinemas, you're going to want to check out this video. Depending how well it goes, I'm pretty happy with it at the moment. This is probably going to be like sort of a thing that I'll be doing going forward for all these Marvel movies. There's going to be an unboxing of this at some point, maybe this week and next week. There will be an unboxing of this guy at some point, probably this week. We have got a Blu-ray collection video going up this week, as per usual. This is foreign films this week, and it's actually going to be the last sort of major collection video. Going forward, we're just going to be doing monthly update videos on the collection, so we're finally sort of rounding out my collection here. There's also going to be a pop vinyl collection video going up this week as well, which is my movies and TV pop vinyls. Very, very exciting. Again, this is the last major pop vinyl video. And also something to be very excited about, sometime probably mid to late this week, I'm going to be launching another giveaway. Yes, I haven't done a giveaway for a little while now. And sadly, there was no Pirates of the Caribbean giveaway, but we will be doing a giveaway for an upcoming Disney Blu-ray release. So keep your eyes open for that one this week as well. Very, very excited to announce that giveaway. I think there's going to be 2 winners, and it's a really, really cool prize pack. So keep your eyes open for that if you want to win some cool Disney stuff. That's my gift back to you guys out there for all your wonderful support. So look, I'm going to sign out. I'm going to go kickstart my weekend. You guys go and kickstart yours as well. But you guys out there go and kickstart yours as well. To all the first-time viewers out there, if this is the first video of mine that you've seen, you'd like to see some more unboxings and reviews and all that kind of stuff going into the future, then please, after the jump, do me a big solid and hit subscribe. To all my regular viewers out there, thank you once again for joining me. And to absolutely everybody, I hope I'll see you again soon. Until next time though, guys, take care, and I hope you have a magical weekend.